Hey guys, Andrew Davidson here, and welcome back to another As Per My Ability video. If you like what we do here at As Per My Ability, if you like our videos, if you like our content, if you like board games in general, please do all the fun YouTube stuff. Comment, like, subscribe, hit the notifications so you get notified when we post new videos. We post at least a video a week, typically on Tuesdays. So do all that fun stuff. We appreciate everything that you do to help our channel grow. About 5 years ago, before As Per My Ability, before AsPerMyAbility.com, before I was really on the internet in this type of way, I got an email from my local librarian. It was actually the head or the director of library services, and the email stated to me that they meaning the library, had just received a bunch of federal money or grants or something like that. Anyways, they had a bunch of money that they were going to buy a bunch of board games, and they were going to start a board game collection at my local public library. I'm thinking, great, this is awesome, great, but why are you emailing me? Turns out that she had been looking for someone. She knew very little about board games. I think she mentioned in her email that she played Catan back when she was in college and had played Pandemic once or maybe twice, but was really not the person to sit down and go, okay, we're looking to buy at least 200 or more games. She was like, I don't even know where to begin. My name ended up going through, I think she said 3 or 4 people, my information, until it got back to her, and then she had my email and emailed me basically saying, can you come up with a list? Can you help me out? Like, we're trying to get 200 games. I have no clue really where to start other than just getting, some of the basic ones which they wanted to get. So no fault to them. You got to have your Monopolies and your Scrabbles. Also Catan, because she was familiar with that one, and Pandemic. But other than that, she really needed like a ginormous list. And I felt pretty proud that someone had asked me. At this point, since I am on YouTube and I do have the website and the blog and the YouTube, at this point it's kind of almost a monthly thing for me to be recommending board games or making a list of games of like, hey, if you like this game, you should play these games. But back then, 5 years ago, like half a decade ago, I was so entranced. In fact, I sat down that night, opened up a Word document, started making categories like kids games, lightweight games or family games, strategy games, party games. I actually put in like competitive and like cooperative games. And then I just started filling in games, like sub games under those main categories. I did some research on BGG, as I profess not to be the scholar of kid games. I remember this day. This was 5 years ago. I remember it because I spent hours and hours putting together this list. It didn't come together piecemeal. I sat down for one evening and just sat for hours making this list. I think, if memory serves, I ended up shipping the email off to her with the Word document at about 205 games, I think, if memory serves. So she went out and ordered, I think, albeit but 3 games. They ordered everything on my list. And so I feel pretty proud, or at least I felt pretty proud of being the one that's like, hey, our local library in this little community that I live in has a board game collection. If you like games, if you want to try games before you buy them, or if you're not someone that really wants to buy games but wouldn't mind having a game night per se, you can go to the public library and you can check games out for a whole month and learn the game and play them with your friends and then just return them. And it seems to be a pretty sweet deal for someone who doesn't want to get into the collecting aspect. As my buddy Brad once said, collecting games and playing games are 2 totally different hobbies. And so if you're looking into the just playing games and not necessarily the collecting aspect, I decided I was going to go down to the Bismarck Public Library, and I'm sure I'll put a link somewhere to their website, and take some footage of their game collection. Now, I have to give credit where credit is due. It has been 5 years since I sent that list out. So it's grown. It's continued to grow every single year. I don't go down to the library in the game section very often, really, but I have noticed that it's been getting bigger. So everything that you're going to see in the footage that I'm about to show you isn't necessarily my original list, or that was all encompassing. It's been half a decade since then, and they have added quite a few games since the initial purchase of about 200 or so games. Because I was in a library, what I really wanted to do is kind of pull games off the shelf and narrate and talk about them, but as we all know, you gotta be quiet in the library. So I just decided, I'm gonna just forget about it. I'll just shoot some footage. I'm gonna throw some music over top of it. So because of that, I'm gonna sign off now. You are not gonna hear me or see me, but stay tuned for some footage of the library. Once again, my name is Andrew Davidson. You've been watching As Per My Ability, and I will see each and every one of you at the next video. All right, let's cut to that sweet library footage.